Welcome to the Rocket Roof Show, where we equip fellow roofers to do more commercial business every first and third Thursday of the month. It's time to launch your business to the next level.
This is Project Command. Stand by power transfer.
3, 2, 1, blast off!
Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Rocket Roof Show with your host, Andy Neer here. And with me today, I have a guest, Tommy Richardson from Nubs Media. And I'm just going to explain a little quickly here on how I met Tommy. It was through a Ready Roofing company down in North Carolina. I had been down there working on a project with them guys and kind of rubbed shoulders and got introduced to Tommy here. And just kind of knew him for a while, and then he came up to my shop last year when we did a little bit of a workshop, and he did a little video there, and then again I visited North Carolina a few weeks ago and worked on another project together. He was doing some video on, and we decided to do some content a couple weeks ago with him, and he came up and worked with us for a couple weeks, and I was just so blown away by what he provided and what he created. I can't create that on my own, and I do a lot of pictures and videos here, but it's all very, very primitive, basic. And so I called in the pros, and I was just blown away with what he did. So I thought I'd bring him on the program here to explain and talk about the importance of having good video, good pictures, good content. And welcome to the show, Tommy. Appreciate the having you.
Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate you having me on. So what I heard from my introduction, by the way, is that good things happen when you come down south.
I didn't say that, but I'm still getting over the weird way you say words. So I was just telling Justin that today about how you say theater. And
Theater.
Yeah, theater.
That's how you say it. Theater.
So yeah, just tell me a little bit about your story. How you came about to doing video and your passion for it.
Yeah, so it's actually funny. I was talking to somebody about this earlier today, my grandfather, actually, and he reminded me very gently that he bought me my first camera. He goes, "Don't forget about me." But no, it was about a year and a half, 2 years ago. He bought me my first camera, and I just wanted to do a couple little things here and there and have fun. And then I was working with Justin doing sales, actually, and it just wasn't my thing. It's not what I wanted to do. So I asked him if there's something else in the company that I could do. And Justin, being the creative guy that he is, he goes, "Yeah, why don't you do some drone photography for us on our completed roofs?" I was like, "All right, sweet, let's do that." So started doing some drone photography for him, and eventually led to doing videos for him. And it just led to us just getting better and better and continuing to push the limits of what we could actually accomplish with, our editing, with different styles of videos, the equipment that we're using and all that good stuff. And just over the course of the past year and a half, 2 years, it's just morphed into, what Nubs Media is and is continuing to become, over the course of whenever. There really is no time limit on this thing.
Yep. And what I like really about your style was you are all about getting the potential customers' attention. And I know there's a lot of guys out there that do videography, and they might be doing golfing one week, they might be shooting a sneaker shoot the next week, and then they're doing a roofing video. And we want to appeal to our customer, a residential roof or a commercial roof. In this case, on this show, it's commercial roofing. And, you're talking to people that are running multi-million-dollar businesses and are, have expensive roofs. And so that they got to have a particular style of video. And I think you're great at catching that. Give me a little bit of, well, first off, I want to start asking you a question of why is it important in 2020 to have a good pictures and video? I know we're talking about video here, but sometimes it's just pictures too. Why is it good? Why is it important to have good video content and picture content?
Well, first and foremost, I would say because our attention span as humans is so small now, right? And that's something that, and you have to be able to capture somebody's attention in such a short period of time. And doing the flyer, I mean, how much junk mail do we get on a regular basis, right? Like you're looking through it and you're just like, I don't want that. And you throw it away and you never look at it again. You know what I mean? Whereas you put something on social media, you put a catchy video on there, you put a flashy photo or anything to that extent, and you grab somebody's attention, people are, they're more apt to share something onto their page and react to something that you've done than they are to read a flyer nowadays, because it's so much faster to do that. So if you can create something that people can look at for 5 to 10 seconds and be attracted to it, they'll like it and share it. And now you're appealing to thousands of other people that otherwise you would have never been able to get to. So that's why it's so important to have these things now. I'm not saying flyers don't work, you know what I'm saying? Don't take me wrong. I still do a lot of graphic design for that stuff. But your social media presence with your videos and your photos has become so much more important in 2020 than, I mean, shoot, I would say even 5 years ago, to be honest about it.
And it's more relevant too, right?
Yeah.
Like it makes you more relevant on searches when you're doing that content out there. And I think when a customer sees your face and your mug, and maybe you even talking, you almost already creating that relevancy with them that you don't get from a flyer. Like,
yeah, and also if you're putting out professional photos, professional videos, that gives off the perception that you have a professional company.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Whereas if you're just doing, you know, if it's always just photos with your phone, not saying that your phone can't take a good photo, right? But there is a pretty substantial difference between a phone photo and then, you know, what I can do with my camera. You know, I mean, there is. That's just the reality of it. And when you have that professional look and feel, it's branded to you with your logo. You got fun music in the background. Like in your instance, you know, you love rock music, right? So a lot of the videos that we've done for you had rock music in it because it also appeals to where you are in the country as well. And that's another thing that we have to keep in mind when we're doing this stuff is where in the country are we and who are we trying to appeal to in order to get that? In order to get people to pay attention. It's even like that between two different companies in North Carolina, right? Like in Raleigh, we do a different style than what we do in Wilmington. Because Wilmington's a beach town. People want to see you on a boat, having a good time. You know, whereas in Raleigh, if you show something of somebody riding a boat up the Intercoastal Waterway over here, they're going to be like, oh, that's cool. And then they just keep going because it's not relevant to them.
Yeah. So one thing that, you know, obviously when you came to work with us, I had a certain perception of what the week was going to look like. And we had an itinerary all set out and everything. And one thing that really took me out, like in the first 10 minutes, you wanted to get a clip of me putting my tool belt on and walking away from the truck. And it's like, for me, it's like, okay, you're just going to have me walk there and you're going to film me. But you staged it. You're like, okay, I want you to do this, and then we're going to stop. And then you're going to do this, and then we're going to stop. And it took you like 5 shots to get that whole thing. Completely foreign concept to me. But it really showed me that you wanted an end result. You already had it in your mind, what it was going to look like. And you wanted an end result, and you had it stepped out and how you wanted me to, and you coached me through it. That's cool. You coached me through that, and took a few takes to do it. But the end result was I thought it was really good. So
yeah, I mean, and that's something that, I mean, that's a God-given talent. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's just, I can see what I want the introduction to the video to look like before we ever film it. Like, I already know what I need. You know, and it like you said, you know, I was able to direct you with what I wanted you to do. So it makes your life easier because I already know what we're looking for before we ever get there.
We want to take a quick minute to thank our sponsor, Top Roof Contractors. If you're looking for more commercial roofing projects or a network of vetted contractors to collaborate with, you need to take a closer look. Visit toproofcontractors.com to learn what it takes to join.
So talk to me a little bit about when you're working with a company, how you help them develop their story. Because you can't just be on there and be like, hey, we're a company, we got 20 years experience and we put these kind of systems on. And talk to me about how you help a guy tell their story make them unique?
Well,
Maybe
it
use
all
Ready
starts.
Roofing as an example.
Do what?
Maybe you could use Ready Roofing as a good example.
Yeah, so it's one of those things. So that's very different than like with me coming to work for you, right? I've known Justin for years.
Mm-hmm.
I think, golly, man, I've known Justin for probably 15 years maybe or something like that. I had a very good feel for what Justin wanted before we ever got started.
Yep.
Right? Like, because I know the type of guy Justin is.
Yep.
You know, I know what he likes. I know what he doesn't like. Now, there was a lot to learn as time went on, you know, of exactly what he wanted. But I pretty much had a very personal relationship with Justin prior to ever working for him. So that's a little different. Whereas with someone like you know, me and you talked a lot leading up to the week that I was there. And some of those conversations were, hey, tell me Empire's story.
Yep.
You know, how did you get where you are now? And we actually did a video of Empire's story that you'll be getting here shortly, and people can actually hear your story and, you know, all the things that you went through. But it's important to know the individual first, or the business owner first. And then once you learn who the business owner is, you can tailor those videos around the feel and the culture of what that company is all about.
Yep.
Because if I don't know you, it's very difficult for me to be able to do something that's going to represent you well. So there's a few meetings leading up to that where I actually get to know who you are. Yeah. And then once we get on site, you know, each video is very different. Like, for instance, today, you know, we're filming at this huge, you know, a huge building, you know, back towards Raleigh that Ready Roofing is working on, and it's a huge commercial building, right? That's going to be a very different feel than if we were to go to a residential building, or if we were to go to a church, for instance, right? It's going to be a little bit different feel to what's going on, because I want the music and the editing to fit exactly what's happening and where we are.
Yep. And it's important for you because if you're working with different contractors, a couple of them might be in the same state or the same region or whatever. You don't want their styles to be close or similar because they're two different companies, and you want to portray their individuality.
I don't want two companies to be identical, right?
Yep.
Like, yes, I want people to be able to look at my work and be like, Nubs Media did that, right? Yep. Like, because the quality is so good. Yep. But I don't want them to look at it and go, man, Empire Contractors literally just put out the same thing Ready Roofing did.
Yeah, that's what I did. That's what we did. We didn't want, and you did a very good job of doing that too. So, thank you for that. Next question. Lost my train of thought here for a second there. What do you say to a person that they're like, man, I do want to put content out there. I do want to put some great video out there, but man, I'm camera shy and I don't speak well. What would you say to a guy like that that's not quite comfortable?
Yeah.
Can you work with a guy like that, or do you have options for a guy like that?
Yeah. So, I mean, there's numerous different things we can do. Everybody's camera shy the first time they get in front of a camera. That's just the reality of it. Everybody is. That never changes, right? I look at it as kind of like doing push-ups, right? If you want to get better at push-ups, what do? You do more push-ups, right? If you want to get better on camera, you get in front of the camera more. It's literally just that simple. You know, so like with you, for instance, when we started off the week, the first couple times, it was kind of rocky. We were getting our words together, and also we were working on getting it in a time limit.
And I was talking 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
To slow me down.
Yeah. So, and that's another thing is you got to be able to get all that information in about a minute. And some of these jobs, there's an awful lot going on at these jobs. So you got to figure what's the most important things behind this job. And you know, the first couple of times, like I said, it's rocky, and it is with everybody. But as the week went on, dude, we were rolling. I mean, you were getting it because you knew exactly what we needed to do. You knew exactly what we needed to say. And we were perfect, right?
Yeah.
Now, for guys who may be camera shy and they're like, nope, don't want to get in front of the camera. I don't care what you do. Not going to happen. Okay, that's fine. We can literally just have you do a voiceover the entire thing. And you never get in front of the camera. That's fine.
Explain to people that might not be aware of what a voiceover is. I'm sure most people do, but explain what a voiceover is.
Yeah, so basically, you know, the voiceover is I got like drone footage going and your voice is over top of the drone footage. Obviously, that drone is not recording you at that moment, right?
And you could almost read from a script, right?
Do what?
You could almost read from a script.
Essentially, yeah. Actually, golly, I had to do that a couple of weeks ago with a real estate agent. He could not get his words together. And I'm like, look, just here, read this, and we'll just put it over everything else.
Yep. Yep.
So,
Cool.
yeah.
Okay. So,
God, has it really been 18 minutes?
yeah, it goes fast, doesn't it?
Jeez, dude. Like I said, it's different on this side of the camera, man.
Yep.
When you're holding that gimbal and you're like this right here, 1 minute feels like forever.
Yep. And that's the next question I wanted to ask you is, while you were working me through the videos, and it was constantly like I was going over the limit. And mostly it was because I wanted to make sure that I was getting out all the information. But you were shooting for between 50 seconds and a minute 30. Yeah. And for me, that was like, how in the world do I explain this project in a minute 30? But, you worked me through it, and, we don't have to put in all of the adjectives. You don't have to spill all the details of the project. You don't have to give a bunch of backstory and all this stuff. So that was one thing you helped me through, and it was really important. You explained to me how it was really important. 1 minute to 1 minute, 20 seconds is kind of the sweet spot to hold people's attention, because you want people to watch your videos. And if they see something in 5 minutes.
Yeah. And that kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier, people with such a small attention span, right? Like if you go searching for something on YouTube, right, you're probably going to watch a 15-minute long video. Mm-hmm. But if you're scrolling on Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn or Twitter or whatever social media platform that you choose to be on, you have to capture somebody's attention because they may not be looking for a roofing video. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And you somehow, some way, you have to get that attention like that. Mm-hmm. And assuming you can do that and you can hold their attention, if you can hold their attention for more than about 45 seconds on Facebook or Instagram, you have done a really good job. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. I mean, and that's why we try to keep them between 50 seconds and 90 seconds. I had to do math in my head real quick. Yep. Yeah, we try to keep between 50 and 90 seconds on everything because that's about as long as you got. Yep.
So in closing, I always like to ask my guests, give one practical piece of advice, related to videography. And I'm going to be specific to it. Maybe somebody can't afford a videographer right now, but what's one trick that they can do with their camera or their phone that could potentially make their bad videos a little better? Because some of these guys might be doing their video. Oh, there's your little girl.
That's my baby girl right there.
That's what you do it all for, right?
That's right. This is why we do everything, is right here. That's beautiful. Very cool. So, but yeah, to your question, I'm sorry. She's running up to me. I didn't want her to scream.
Yep. No problem. No problem. So, a lot of people are doing stuff with their phone because that's what they can afford right now, or maybe they're just starting up. What's a little something they can do that would not make them look so cheesy or not so generic? Because we get a lot of features on our phones nowadays. We can do little tricks. What's something they can do that's simple and help them out?
Yeah, so man, there's so many really cool apps on your phone that you can use. One of them is called Pixaloop. And if you go on Pixaloop, you can just take a photo of something and man, you can turn it into a phenomenal animation. Mm-hmm. Like phenomenal. And it literally takes you 5 minutes to do it. Right. Mm-hmm. So if you don't have the budget to have somebody come out and, do all of those things and all that good stuff, that's a great way to get an attention grabbing piece of content that you can use on a regular basis. Yep. Another thing, if video is what you want to do, right. And you're like, man, I gotta have videos. I want to have those things, go out, go get you a nice little cage or something like that for your phone. You know what I'm saying? Literally costs you $15, get a decent mic on top of it, costs you about $50, and plug all that into your phone and then just start recording stuff. Yep. You know what I mean? And just start recording it, and you don't have to do all the crazy edits and all that good stuff. If you just want to get started and build your brand so people know who you are, that's a great way to go about doing it.
One thing that I learned early on, because I had a lot of people ask me, like, I don't know what kind of content I need. And I always ask them, well, do you go do repairs? Well, yeah, I do repairs. Every repair you do is your opportunity to create content. Yeah. What's the problem I'm going to look at? This is a picture of the problem, and this is what I propose as a solution. It's a great little 30-second, 40-second video, and it's easy because you don't really have to make up a bunch of stuff. You could pretty much say right on the camera there. So that's one little tip that I found works really good for me.
But no, seriously though, that Pixel Loop app, man,
Mm-hmm.
that thing is, that really gets the job done. Now you're limited to how much you can do. You got to pay to get more stuff, but
Yep.
It's a phenomenon, dude. I use it.
Yep.
I still use it. If I'm struggling to get something, I just go in there and just do my thing on it.
Yep. And I don't know if you'll agree with me or not. This might be you might disagree or agree with me on it. I don't know. What's more important, high quality content or a lot of content?
Oh, since I'm a videographer.
I'm trying to argue with the people that are like, I'm just not going to do anything because I don't have the money to do it good. I say it's start and then get better at it as you go on.
Hey, guess what? When I first started doing it for Justin, I sucked.
Yeah.
I mean, but we were so consistent with what we were doing on a regular basis.
Yep.
Because consistency is what gets you your following.
Yep.
Right. And then focus on getting super quality stuff.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But if you don't have the money to bring anybody out, just post, just get something out there.
Yep.
So people know who you are. If you're the greatest roofer in the world, but nobody knows who you are, then you're not the greatest roofer in the world.
Yeah.
And that goes for me as well. I could be the greatest videographer and content creator in the world, but if nobody knows who Tommy Richardson at Nubs Media is, guess what?
Yeah.
I'm not the greatest in the world.
Yep.
So, but another thing that you get with us, real quick, as a quick plug, we post all of your stuff on our social media as well.
Uh-huh.
So you're getting a following from us. I mean, I know you're in Michigan and we're in North Carolina, but we're connected across the United States as well, where people are following us from all over the place.
Exactly.
So
exactly. So I thought that I'm going to wrap it up here, and I appreciate you coming on today and taking your time. I know you had a really busy schedule. Had to fight traffic to make it back for this podcast, but I want to thank you for being on. And if people do want to reach out to you, I know that right now you are have some openings for some new clients, but you're pretty specific on who you choose. And you do really good with working with commercial roofing. It's kind of your niche. But if you want to leave your contact information, if anybody had any questions to reach out to you, what's a good place that they can get a hold of you or find you?
Yeah, so the best thing, you can give me a call on my phone. Number's 919-413-8179. You can find us on Facebook, Nubs Media. You can find us on Instagram at Nubs_media. Send me an email, tommy@nubsmedia.com. I got numerous ways that people can get in contact with me.
Okay.
And if you want a portfolio of work, go to our social media accounts. That's probably the best portfolio of work you're going to be able to see from what we do.
Yep. And just for our audience's benefit, you are drone certified, which is
I am FAA certified to fly in the United States.
And not everybody can say that. So
not everybody can say that.
Yep. So, well, I thank you for being on tonight. I really appreciate it, and wish you success there in Carolina and abroad. I know we're going to have you up soon again, and I know other people on our team are chomping at the bit to use you. So, do good, keep doing good things. And what's your tagline again at the end?
Oh, my tagline is our whole entire goal is to help good people do great things. That's it. That's all we care about doing.
Good deal.
And that's, that's been our motto since the beginning.
Yep. Well, cool. Well, once again, I appreciate you being on the show, and hope you do well, and catch you later.
Hey, Andy, I appreciate you having me on here, buddy. Thank you very much. And I look forward to working with you guys again soon too, man.
Okay, cool.
You've been listening to the Rocket Roof Show podcast. Be sure to subscribe through your favorite podcasting platforms such as iTunes or Google Play to get the latest episodes as they are launched. For more, please follow us on social media or visit our website at rocketroofshow.com. We look forward to joining you here again soon at the next launch.